This is Boss Cowboy Sports with another Measure Kool-aid report, and this time I'm going to be talking about cornerback Trevon Diggs. Obviously, as an ex-corner myself, I take a lot of pride in this position. So to watch his growth is phenomenal, especially when you know his background, where he was a former receiver. And I think he's the model of what a lot of smart college programs should be doing, where you convert receivers or former receivers to cornerbacks, because most cornerbacks are not trained to attack the ball. But if you get a guy who played a lot of receiver in high school and you convert him to a cornerback, the innate instincts are then built into the player to know how to attack the ball and have a mentality to attack the ball. So we was privileged to have Everson Walls on the Final Word. I ran into him and he came on the show. He was very cool about it. And I asked him, I said, Everson, I said, what do you go do to teach these young guys to get the ball like you did? And that was obviously before these cornerbacks like Anthony Brown and obviously Trevon Diggs went off in 2021. And he said, man, I played receiver. He said, so I already knew how to attack the ball. I had that mentality that when the ball was in the air, it was mine just as much as his. Same thing with Trevon Diggs. He's truly trying to pull down the spirit of Everson Walls and put it in his own soul, to the point to where he even, like Michael Jordan used to always wear his North Carolina shorts under his Bulls shorts, because he wanted to kind of keep that fire that he had at North Carolina. That's the same thing Trevon Diggs is doing at cornerback, where he has a very high goal. He even said, according to John Machota, Trevon Diggs' interception goal for this season just to be higher than last year, beat my 11 and just keep going up. Obviously, that's super ambitious, and I love it. And it's what you want out of a cornerback. And he's somebody that has the skill sets to actually attain it. So we go measure everything about Trevon going into 2022. And so let's talk about it. So obviously, when you break him down and you look at him, it's a couple of things, obviously, that you're going to notice is that he's actually very fundamentally sound. And one of the main things that you see about Trevon Diggs that's not talked about enough, and that's that game speed. And I'm talking about real game speed. I'm not playing. I'm not joking when I say that, because people don't know this, but I want y'all to listen to Shan and RJ, who've been doing a wonderful job of breaking down just all these interviews with these players. But this was before, where they talked about the GPS in the shoulder pads that measure the speed. So y'all just listen to this. This might surprise some of you. Check this out.
Now, the number one player in the league, overall, the fastest player in the league, is a member of the Dallas Cowboys. It is Diggs. He covers 10.63 yards per second.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
Darius Slay is number 6. He is 10.37. DK Metcalf is 2 at 10.48. Now, that doesn't mean that Diggs is the fastest 40 time.
Right.
But, there's a difference between being fast and playing fast.
Yeah.
And he,
Tyreek Hill, by the eye test, looks like the fastest player in football.
Right. Yes. I would think so. Now, how much of that is this fact that he's very small, so he's going to look faster?
Right.
Now, our eyes probably can't tell the difference between 10.4 and 10.3, but
yeah,
he's small, and that's going to help.
Yeah, so I have the link in the description from Shan and RJ where they was discussing that. But this is a true example of it when you watch this play from training camp. When you watch him from training camp, I know Dennis Houston, talked to Dennis Houston, watched him work out. Dennis Houston is a 4.41. And 4.41 speed, that's fast. Trevon Diggs did not clock that with his 40. But yet, when the ball is in the air, watch him run down Dennis Houston, step for step. That's that crazy game speed that I'm talking about. And see, these are the guys that I actually call adrenaline athletes. And so with adrenaline, and I did a whole breakdown on that. So y'all check the description. I put it in the description. So make sure y'all check that out where I break down game speed and adrenaline athletes. But yeah, that's one of the things about him that's outstanding. The second thing is I'm observing him is he's very fundamentally sound and patient. Like in the goal line, you'll notice a lot of times he's not backpedaling, nor should he, because that's playing with intelligence, because that's very aware of spatial awareness, and he's playing, to the odds, and is smart. And obviously that's another interception by Trevon Diggs. So I broke him down a lot. I got a lot of videos about him. So y'all might kind of go through the videos and kind of look for my Trevon Diggs analysis, because I've broken him down many times. But there are also some other surprises that people might not know about Trevon Diggs, that he's aggressively lobbying to play receiver. So I just want y'all to check this out. Listen to this. Another one from Shan and RJ. I also put this link in the description. I'm always gonna give them credit for the work that they do and how hard they work. But check this out. Listen.
How long do you think it would take you to go out here and practice at receiver to where you think you could play receiver?
I can play receiver right now.
Right now?
Like right now.
Man. And see, it's his confidence. You think he playing? Look at his face. Look at his face. He not playing. He dead serious. And that's what you want. That's what you want. I mean, and it's happened for primetime play receiver a whole season, for the Dallas Cowboys. And sometimes you got to respect the fact that some of these guys are world-class athletes. You heard Shan and RJ already break down that he has the fastest game speed in the league. So an athlete like him, man, who's telling what he can do? It is no telling, honestly, what he's capable of, especially with James Washington going down. So he's very intriguing, and I do expect him to get even better. So it's another thing I want to address real quick, especially when you're dealing with Trevon Diggs, because a lot of Cowboy fans are falling for this. And this guy, Steve, with PFL, he was the one that put out there that Trevon Diggs has given up over 1,000 yards into his coverage this season, the most in the NFL. And see, I'm telling y'all, I do not trust PFF. I don't. I could see if they had a couple of wild takes every now and then, but there seems to be a pattern to undergrading Dallas Cowboys. And I promise you, this is likely for their own benefit, because look at the amount of retweets and likes that Steve got on this. 45,000 loves and 11,000 retweets on this. Well, so if we go to his page and we check him out, you can see why they would play on negative views to the Dallas Cowboys, because you can see his normal tweets don't get a lot of traction at all. We talking about, I mean, as much as he posts, you can see he's barely getting retweets, barely getting loves. This retweet did pretty good, and that came from PFF, and that's a warm and fuzzy one. But the rest of his tweets, regardless of what he's saying, is not getting a lot of love. But all of a sudden, when you say something negative about the Dallas Cowboys, you attract a hater crowd. And when you attract a hater crowd, it's going to get a whole bunch of reshares. I guarantee you this was likely his best reshare ever. I guarantee you that he has probably never had anything go viral like this. Maybe a few because of his premier job, but it just shows you the power of negative attention on the Cowboys. And so let me explain something about that they even explain. They basically explain that they don't really know all the coverages when they come up with that grade. is they basically grading who was closest to the ball, and that's how they determined that he gave up over 1,000 yards. So sometimes I notice from playing corner, you can be in a zone coverage, and because you have great pursuit to the ball, you can seem like the play happened on you, but it actually didn't. It was more so not your responsibility, but you was hustling to the ball, and that's what made it seem like that play was on you. So basically it's junk science. That's what I want to tell you. So I did all kind of breakdowns on that. It's all in the description, and y'all check that out. But I want to give my full measured Kool-aid on Trevon Diggs, and this is my analysis. I don't want Diggs to change hardly anything. If anything, I would say occasionally he did loaf on plays, but in terms of coverage, I don't want him to change hardly anything, because it's the game of football is about getting the ball so that your offense can score. Giving up yards is not points. It's not points. What he does in terms of turnover generates more points, which then puts us in a better position to win. So yeah, that's absolutely my take on Trevon Diggs and my measured Kool-aid. I have some more videos, obviously, that's doing well. I want you to check those out on the measured Kool-aid about CD being the #1. People like that one. People really liking the Dak Prescott ready to ascend, and obviously Jabril Cox and the Shan Wright. Those are shorter videos that you want to maybe binge, because I'm breaking these guys down according to training camp and then what they likely go do in the future. So y'all stay with Boss Cowboy Sports as I continue to give you this content. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, as well as you can donate to the Cash App and do that type of stuff that supports the channel. But we gonna continue to get this type of content with the Measured Kool-Aid Report, as well as lives. And we do have the final word today, so y'all stay up. We go talk about the second day of pads, as well as obviously Big Game James, myself, and potentially the OC. We gonna be breaking down more stuff with the Dallas Cowboys. But y'all stay up. It's Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter. Peace out.